Pondering Points from Papa. Pondering points from Papa are from biblical precepts, principles, and promises. You know, there are a lot of different things that we can use in life that we can learn different illustrations from. We know the Bible refers to many different things that Jesus himself talked about in reference to illustrating a lesson. For instance, the lilies of the field are seeds, and talking about things like that. A rope is one of those things. I like to take a rope and show people how a rope can relate to things about our life. For instance, sometimes we have long ropes, and there are people who are blessed with longevity. Sometimes we have ropes that are kind of cut in the middle, and we realize that life can be cut off that way. Sometimes we have little short ropes, and they tell us that sometimes life can end for some way too short. When we think about life does come with some knots now and then. And we get these knots in our life, and sometimes they're very troublesome and bothersome. And we wonder sometimes what really we can do. You know, the Word of God encourages us about turning to God during that time. The Apostle Paul tells us about a time in his own personal life over in 2 Corinthians chapter 12 where he had this thorn in his flesh. And he went to God 3 times about this thorn in his flesh. And God told him that this was a messenger from Satan even to buffet him, to bring him under control and to bring him under humility. But God called out to Paul and he said, "My grace is sufficient. For when you are weak, then I am strong." So don't give up when you got some knots in your life and you have some troubled situations or things that are bothering you. As a papa, I want to encourage you, as someone who's lived a little bit of life, I want to encourage you about always trusting in God and believing in Him. David wrote long ago in Psalm 37 and verse 25, he said, "I have been young and now I'm old, and yet I've not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging bread." God truly will favor those who will put their belief and their trust in Him. And I want to encourage you that, and as I do in all of our lessons about pondering points from Papa, I want to encourage you about putting God in your life and keeping Him there first. Because we know if we seek God first and His kingdom, all the things of life will be added unto us in the way that God truly desires to bless us in our life. Pass this on if you enjoyed it. Check us out on our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook, because we want you to be encouraged about God's love and truth for you here at the DeSoto Church of Christ.